Toronto Raptors are getting what they want as the coveted first round pick and Masai Ujiri is made publicly as the asking price for Bruce Brown. Apparently it's been met by a mystery team out there, and given a multitude of other reports, it seems like Masai Ujiri is going to wait till the very last minute in order to milk as many assets as possible in a potential Bruce Brown trade. So we're going to break down all of those latest reports, including Chris Boucher speaking out on all of the latest trade reports and rumors his name has been attached to, and Dennis Schroder, a potential suitor for him, is now off the table after a move that just happened. So lots of stuff to break down, but before we dive into that, folks, have a little channel update I want to throw out to you guys, as I've dropped it casually just in these vids and stuff. You know, I know Marcel's kind of discussed it on those live streams, but never formally sort of announced anything, as never really felt the need to, but throwing it out here today. So basically, I'm a full-time YouTuber now at this point. I had an awesome job at the NASDAQ as a software engineer, a job I really liked, but, you know, we're going full steam ahead with the passion project, with, you know, growing Raptors Digest and Digest Media here now at this point. I'm pumped that this is the case. Living the dream job. It's been absolutely amazing. You know, for people that don't know, Digest Media, sort of the company that I started, stemmed from this. You know, Raptors Digest, that was just a Twitter page, turned YouTube channel, turned now into a media company we're trying to grow. We have NHL channels, NBA channels covering pretty well, hopefully every team soon, but the Knicks, the Celtics, the Sixers, the Heat, the Lakers, the Bulls, you know, NHL, we just launched our Canucks channel, we just launched our Flames channel. We're up to, I think, 13, 14 channels now at this point, maybe 15, and over 30 people, so it's been wild, it's been super exciting, so just throwing that out there to some people, and basically, you're going to see me pop up on other channels, because in our last video, I saw some people fired up because they saw me on our Lakers Digest channel. I'm a Raptors fan, born and raised. I don't know if, you know, the 7 years of YouTube videos proves that or whatever, but I'm going to be popping up across the network to make sure this ship is steered as best as we possibly can, you know, so you'll see me on Lakers videos, you'll probably see me on some Warriors stuff, some Thunder stuff, some stuff. As we grow out the channels, I'm probably going to pop up a lot of different places. So, you know, I appreciate everyone that's been watching these vids, interacting with this stuff, that's checked out the other channels. I mean, it means the world to me that I can live out this sort of dream job, even how as hectic it kind of is managing all these things as a 24-year-old figuring it all out on the fly. But I mean, if you don't want me on other channels, you're gonna roast that, because I see some people fired up, you know, and I think they were burner accounts, a couple of them that were going crazy, just looking at the usernames, the data creation, and how it's kind of attached to some names that might have some incentives to not see me grow and not see this, but I'm not too worried about all that stuff. All the people that have kind of supported me, that have watched these vids, that have just tuned in, roasted my takes, I appreciate all of you, because it's been an awesome ride, and I'm pumped to sort of just get it started, get it rolling. You know, we're pumped to sort of grow this thing. No crazy networks backing us. It's just sort of our team here at Digest Media. No crazy gambling sponsorships that's funding everything or anything like that. We're trying to do it the right way, grow the grassroots and stuff. So pumped to get this thing rolling. But that's enough of me rambling, me sort of addressing that sort of stuff. Let's dive into the news, because basically the Toronto Raptors are getting what they want, as reports have dropped that Bruce Brown apparently is going to command the asking price Masai Ujiri's been throwing out, as reports have basically dropped that a mystery team has reportedly offered the Toronto Raptors a first-round draft pick for Bruce Brown. According to a league source, the Raptors are asking for and have been offered a first-round pick for Brown, who is earning $22.5 million a season and has a team option on his deal for next season worth $23 million. So that's kind of the latest update, and this is something that it's been confirmed by The Athletic in the recent report as well that we've discussed. Basically, it seems like the Knicks are willing to offer that first round pick, so they might be the mystery team, they might not be, but they want to attach Evan Fournier's contract to that sort of draft capital in order to bring that back. Obviously, the Raptors are looking for that draft pick and like someone good, someone that could potentially fit in well with this Raptors group if sort of a deal goes, because again, you have to match that Bruce Brown salary, right? We heard this report that the Knicks have spoken to the Toronto Raptors about Bruce Brown, but Quentin Grimes is not a part of those conversations right now. It's Evan Fournier and a first. Basically, that's the draft capital that we're getting for Bruce Brown here now at this point. So again, not overwhelmingly great, but if we can get another first, I mean, 4 firsts for Pascal Siakam sounds pretty good, because it's, again, it'll be like one giant trade there at this point, but having an additional asset to it makes sense, and it feels like that's the reason why this trade hasn't gone down yet. Masai Ujiri, we know the Knicks, the Lakers, the Mavericks, the Bucks, the Nuggets. A lot of teams have been linked. Brian Windhorst recently discussed on a podcast how there are a lot of contenders interested in picking up Bruce Brown. So the fact a deal hasn't happened after the asking price has already been met means to me that Masai Ujiri is waiting to milk some of these assets out of another team and figure out how we could best figure out the best course of action with a Bruce Brown trade. So keep your eyes peeled. If we're getting offered a first round pick, I think a deal is guaranteed going to happen. Masai Ujiri is just going to accept it, but we'll see if we're able to sort of get more assets out of it. And obviously, people, the closer you get to the trade deadline, the more likely a deal is actually going to go down and happen. So we keep you posting all the latest regarding that front. Additionally, Chris Boucher has spoken out on all the trade talks, on all the trade reports that have been going down in recent days, and it must suck. It must be tough for an NBA guy to be, your livelihood, your living space, especially a guy like Chris Boucher has been in his home country, been in his home team for a long time now at this point, to be attached to a bunch of different places, a bunch of different reports and rumors, and Boucher had some things to say about it. It's basically, everything has to end, right? So if that's what's going to happen, then cool. Boucher, the last Raptor remaining from the 2018-2019 championship season, said when he spoke recently, hopefully it will put me in a better position, but you never know what could happen. What's been going on this year, obviously, I just got to wait my turn, I guess. If a better situation shows up and they decide to send me somewhere else, so be it. So that everything that was worded in that quote, how it was sort of the subtext to everything from that sort of vocalization from Chris Boucher indicates to me he's getting dealt. I don't think there's a world where we end up keeping Chris Boucher. Now, the minutes in the actual Toronto Raptors rotation probably indicate that directly because he's had a lot of DNPs as of late, and undeservedly so, in my opinion. Yes, he has some moments where he makes some bad decisions and things like that, but he's a hustler, he's a dog. The Raptors are depleted on the front court. He spaces the floor, and sure, Chris Boucher is not the perfect basketball player. He's 31 years old. He's on a little bit more of an expensive contract. I get it. But Chris Boucher on this Toronto Raptors roster, tank or not, whatever your sort of feeling is, he should be getting minutes on this team. I don't think there's a real debate about it. If we're trying to win, if we're trying to do anything along those lines. So I think it's kind of been a bad look that he hasn't been getting at least some run in these games. He looks good when he actually goes out there on the court, but it does seem to me, especially with that quote, he's ready for a trade, given all the DMPs that have come out, and the Raptors are ready to deal him away. So it's going to suck to see, and maybe, things fall apart and he ends up staying on the Toronto Raptors, but from that quote, it feels like he's going. So all the best to Chris Boucher if a deal ends up happening. Let me know what you guys think about that potentially going on. And the final thing we're discussing is a topic that we brought up sort of yesterday as a Dennis Schroder trade. Suitor is off the table. Now, Schroeder's a guy that I felt like isn't going to get dealt. Given his relationship with Arjakovic and how he came in, his reasonable contract, and mentorship to Emmanuel Quickley, the other guards on this team, I'd be surprised if Dennis Schroder ends up getting traded, even though I'm surprised isn't the word, but comparatively to other Raptors veteran, he's the guy I could see staying on this team for the future, and him and Jakob Poeltl. But basically, yesterday it was reported the Minnesota Timberwolves were very interested in acquiring Dennis Schroder for a potential trade, but that seems like it's off the table here now at this point, as the Minnesota Timberwolves are sending a 2030 second-round pick to the Pistons with Shake Milton and Troy Brown as a part of a deal to receive Monte Morris. Now, if you don't know, Monte Morris is a pretty solid backup in today's NBA. Spaces the floor, gets some shooting. So it feels like this is probably the offer that the Minnesota Timberwolves, maybe something better, were offering to the Toronto Raptors in a potential Dennis Schroder trade package. And frankly, I'm not stressed that we didn't take this trade back. Not too worried about it. I think we can get more for Dennis Schroder, but let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. You guys are the best to make it this far. Subscribe to the channel if you guys haven't already. I'm signing out. Cheers.